Well, now we've got to talk about a guy that we haven't talked about in a while.
Stuttering John.
Stuttering John. That's ridiculous. Why would I talk about Stuttering John? We don't talk about him anymore.
That's right. That's right.
I want to talk about a gentleman named Richard Ojeda. And he was on some guy's show. And listen, if you guys comment and say that I made this big proclamation that I wasn't going to talk about Stuttering John, and I've done it twice since then, and now I'm kind of cramming him into an episode by pretending I'm not really talking about him, that's absurd. Because we're here to talk about Richard Ojeda. I can't help if he's on someone else's podcast.
Mike never said he wasn't going to talk about Stuttering John. Prove the receipts. Bring up the receipts.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Find an episode that's titled something like that.
Yeah, we need the receipts here.
I don't buy it. So make sure you comment and let me know about it. But Richard Ojeda was on something called the Stuttering John podcast that I don't know much about. And they had an interesting back and forth that I felt I had to highlight. Because I guess John's been doing this a lot to people. I guess to Joey C, he said he wanted to he was referring to his wife. He goes, "Oh, I would hit that." Mm-hmm. And Joey was like, "It's my fucking wife. What are you talking about? Why would you say that to me?"
Can you please not talk about that?
So this has been on John's mind lately. And now we know from our correspondence with Richard Ojeda, this is a Southern gentleman.
Yes.
This is not a man that plays games like that.
Correct.
But, when John gets something stuck in his mind, he has to ask everyone, hoping that they will reinforce the opinion that he already has. So let's hear what Ojeda responds to that.
By the way, we need to get, on election night, do a live stream and have Ojeda on.
You think that'd be good, though? I don't know dick about politics. I don't care.
It doesn't have to be an episode. I just want to watch him watch results.
That'd be great if we just talked about just fucking what we brought up clips of Opie or something.
Yeah,
made him watch them on election night.
You see him looking away from the camera.
Well, it wouldn't be that different from his appearance on John's show because John had him on and is like, "Army Major, we're gonna get to the politics in a second, but this guy is telling you you agree that Shuley buys views, right?" And Ojeda's like, I don't know what that even means, John.
Who? Well, yeah, this is.
So let's hear John talking about Richard Ojeda's wife.
John, when you hit Major's wife, it's coming. I don't know. I've never seen her. They're asking me if I would.
What a fucking dumb response right off. He's that stupid.
I don't know. I've never seen her. Maybe she's a dog.
Yeah.
I don't know. Army Major, is your wife a pig?
Does she roll around in slop?
Army Major, if so, is she a slam pig? Would I give it to her even though she's a little gross?
If let's say you were single and I saw your wife, would I have sex with her? But I don't know what your wife. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of your wife.
And my wife stays, in the shadows.
Yeah, none of your fucking business.
Richard is so nice.
You haven't seen my wife for a reason because you talk like this, you animal.
He is literally the nicest guy.
Well, unless you're on the receiving end of a curb stomping, then
yeah. I mean, it would just also be funny if we were watching that, and I'll just be telling him how much I like Trump. And then someone could,
well, that's your opinion, I suppose.
And then just have him play clips about how him calling Trump voters retarded. Have Hack Ride drop them in, and then I'll be like, Richard, I thought we were friends.
You can't sue him for slander if you say
right.
That,
Right.
Okay, but so John here's the argument John's presenting for anyone that's a little confused. Hey, your wife, your dearly beloved, the mother of your children. Let's pretend there's a world where I guess you don't know her. Could I slip my rotten pecker into her? Would you mind that?
In the shadows, she takes care of the family, and it's just how it is.
Yeah, no, but I mean, but let me ask you.
Yeah, no, but I mean, could I fuck her?
Could I make her squeal or something?
Oh, clearly, Richard doesn't want to answer this. You know how I could tell? It's very. I don't see much, but I'm observant in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's very subtle. John said, "Is your wife fuckable?" And Richard's answer was, she takes care of the kids, she takes care of the home. I love her very much. It's a very subtle way of saying, I don't want to fucking talk about this, John.
Yeah.
What's wrong? You invited me on a political show. I don't remember. Say what you want about Larry King. I don't remember him having a guest on CNN saying, would you mind if I fucked your wife?
And just to, give an idea how much of a piece of shit John is, this is 26 seconds in. He's made it clear he doesn't want to talk about it. He's not being rude about it. There's still 2 minutes left in this clip.
We've got Vice President Al Gore on. What would you think if I banged Tipper? What kind of a political show is this?
That as an insult about like with me and all my friends, like if you said, man, your wife's hot, I'd hit that. That just means that you find her beautiful.
Well, I would
okay, so John's friends are scumbags.
Yeah, and listen to Richard's response to this too, because he's like, John, I'm giving you an out. Please take it.
When you hear guys at a bar where you're like, human beings talk like that, that's John and the guys at the pub being like, oh, I would suck your wife's tits. Like, but also I would argue, like, do the guys think at the pub think that's cool when John's like, I'd give your wife anal? Like, are there guys out there that are like, oh, good, what a compliment that was?
I think the normal response would be like, I will shoot you in the head.
So John's trying to convince Richard that it's a compliment that he wants to slip his wife the formidable sausage.
I wanted Richard to be like, no, John, I got what you were saying. It's just fucking rude.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. I completely understood, and I'd like to move on, please, because I find it very inappropriate. I happen to love my wife, and I don't want to speak of her that way.
That just means that you find her beautiful.
Well, I would never say it like that. I would say that you have a very beautiful wife. If somebody, walked up to me with their friend and they said, hey, man, check out his wife, would you hit that? I'd punch them right in their goddamn throat.
You're like,
I like even Richard. That's as polite as he can be. Listen, there's a nicer way to say it, but if I was in a room with you right now, I would knock your fucking lights out, John.
John,
you twerp.
John, you keep going. I'm going to drive to you and beat the shit out of you.
Listen, John, we're friends, but I will shatter your world if you insult my beloved wife. I'm trying to get that through to you.
Wife, would you hit that? I'd punch them right in their goddamn throat.
oh, really? So you're like, see, to me, it's
You're one of those guys.
You're pretty gay there, Army Major.
You're one of those guys that if I started groping your wife, you'd have a big issue with it. All right, you think you know a guy.
I grabbed their ass because it's a compliment.
say in New York.
By the way, I like that turn of phrase. Like, that's what guys on construction sites are saying when they whistle at women. Like, when I say nice tits, that just means you're beautiful. You're one of God's great creations. When I say, I want to get up in that ass. I want to tear that ass up. That's saying, oh, what a lovely woman you are. May I hold this door for you? May I lay my coat over a puddle?
It's what we say in New York. It's like, yeah, your wife's hot. I'd hit that. Like, it's just
that's what he does a lot. It's like, this is what we say in New York. Like, John is the governor.
Yeah.
This is what all of us New Yorkers do. He hasn't lived in New York in 20 years.
He might be. Who knows? Who knows where he is?
I believe he's in Canoga Park, California, if I'm not mistaken. But
or Florida, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. He does move around.
No, look,
hold on one second. I just want to say, like, so Richard made it very clear, right? You would say that's a pretty clear message, like
maybe 3 times to stop.
But also like threatening violence.
Yes.
like I would punch you in the throat if you said that to me. And John's like, I'm gonna get you off this fence you seem to be on, Richard.
Yeah, not only am I politely telling you to stop, I'm also telling you I'm getting so mad I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
I don't know why you're so wishy-washy on this, Richard. Give me a straight answer.
Can I or can I not fuck your wife?
Look, I mean, at the end of the day, I know what my wife, what she does for me. I could.
It'd be great if Richard just gave up and was like, at the end of the day, John, fine, just fuck her. Whatever gets me out of this conversation.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Fuck her if you want.
At the end of the day, yeah, fine. Say she's got a great ass on it. Whatever, man. Let's get through this show.
Repay her. She allowed me to, focus my entire career, in the military, while I never had to worrying about the
It'd be great if Richard got vulgar in that moment. She allowed me to come inside her, and I owe her a debt of gratitude for that.
They were always burning. My kids were always taken care of. My wife never let them watch the news because, every night was about Iraq and Afghanistan. And she kept them in sports, and they were just, my kids are very well-rounded, and I really can't take credit for it. I give all credit to my wife.
But it's weird. So, Army Major, just to, let's say I...
But can I fuck her?
Hold on. Listen to this idiot. Go back to the start of that. Because Richard has answered this question twice now.
And that was such a beautiful answer.
But it was not only a beautiful answer, but he went out of his way to let John know, I'm talking about the way she raises my children. I'm not even going to answer your question with something remotely sexual. I'm not going to say that we have a great sex life. I'm not going to say that I find her beautiful. What I'm going to say is she's a tremendous mother, and I owe her the world. Like, she's the love of my life. I'm being so clear with you that I don't want to get graphic about my wife that I don't know how you're missing it. And John's like, but there seems to be a little room for me to slip in here.
Like, I was like, she's a great mom. She protected my kids, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, so you say she's a dog?
Yeah, is that your way of saying she's ugly, Richard? I don't understand. Or are you saying, like, she's down to fuck?
In Afghanistan, and she kept them in sports, and they were just, my kids are very well-rounded, and I really can't take credit for it. I give all credit to my wife.
But it's weird. So, Army Major, just to, let's say I was with my ex-wife, right?
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
I'd let you fuck her.
You can raw dog her in front of me. I don't even care.
John's about to talk about his ex-wife. I'd let you say whatever you want about that pig. Meanwhile, Richard is talking about a woman who's probably in the next room as he's doing this show.
Could be working the camera.
It's me, you, and Brian Karam hanging out at the pub. And you said...
The pussy posse.
Todd, I'd hit...
John, Richard, and Brian Karam are at a bar. So obviously they're getting swarmed with hot tail.
He's like, you could be like, yeah, I'd hit that. I'd be like, yes, John, I still comprehend your question.
Well, all right, let's hear this analogy. Finally, you know what? I think this time he's going to get through to Richard, and Richard's going to be like, oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, no, go to town on her. Come on her tits and her ass, wherever you want, buddy.
Hanging out at the pub. And you said, man, your wife's hot. I'd hit that. I would be like, thanks. I don't know. It's just...
I would never say that. I would never say that.
I know you would. You're a Southerner.
Because I'm not a Southerner. I'm a human being.
I know where there's a line and where not to cross one.
Yeah, no, it's not so much that I'm a Southerner. It's just that I'm an adult that has spoken to people in their lives. I'm not just this fucking oafish bull in a china shop when it comes to conversation.
You can see he does not want to be there right now.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you have an attractive wife. That's
no, I know it's not.
I know that. I know.
Yeah. I have an attractive wife, but do you want to fuck her, Richard?
Answer the question.
Do you want to bust inside her mouth?
Yeah, fine, John. You can fuck my wife. Skål!
I wouldn't hang out with Barack Obama and say that.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What is he saying?
He's saying Michelle Obama's ugly as hell.
Is he? It seems like that's what he's saying. Or is he saying, like, I wouldn't hang out with someone like I respect and talk like that?
No, I think he's calling, I think he's making fun of his kid in a roundabout way here.
Yeah, maybe. I think what he's saying is like, hey, Richard, I would like a guy who's respectable, like a guy who's famous, so I value what they think of me. I wouldn't say it to someone like that. But I'm asking about your whore slut wife. Can I fuck her? I wouldn't talk about the first lady in that manner.
Richard, we don't agree politically, but I am so on your side, sir.
Yeah, by the way, again, that's John saying that, Richard.
Yeah,
not me.
that is not us. We respect
That's a character that I play.
Mrs. Ojeda is a queen.
Yes, absolutely.
Hang out with Barack Obama and say that.
Go back a little further because I want to see how he presents that to Richard. Like, what is Richard supposed to take from this? Is that a compliment? I don't think of you and Barack Obama the same way because these are two liberal guys. Remember, Craig assumes he's calling her Big Mike or something.
Yep.
I don't think that's the case.
I think so.
I highly doubt it.
I think so. But this is like the rudest shit in the world.
How does he get in? How does this big fat oaf describe this to poor Richard?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you have an attractive wife. I mean, that's
I know it's not. It's
I know
not
that. I know.
proper. I wouldn't hang out with Barack Obama and say that.
Yeah,
But we're talking about people in the Dabbleverse.
yeah. If you
No, we were talking. No. Whoa.
Okay, I take back what I said. He was clearly being like, "You are not as respectable as
Yeah.
Barack Obama."
We're talking about Richard's wife. Remember? What do you mean, people in the Dabbleverse?
There are so many reasons I wouldn't say that to Barack Obama. One
Well-
being it's rude.
But also, like, I wouldn't say it to Carl.
No shit.
I'm gonna fuck your wife. What a fucking cretin this guy is.
Lady K, I'd fuck your wife.
and Brian Kareem were together, it don't matter what you say. It's just going to be hilarious. We're going to laugh about it. We're going to drink a few beers and we're going to have a good time.
Okay, Richard found. This is years of military service. I think.
Yep, I know exactly.
Richard found an escape hatch.
Yep. Compliment John.
If I fucking pump this idiot's ego, I'm home free.
It's gonna wipe his hard drive and he's gonna forget everything that just happened.
Hey, John, who cares whether or not my wife is fuckable? You are really funny. Oh, well, thank you. My erection has gone away, but I seem to be happy still.
You're making me blush, Army Major.
Oh, well, my, Richard. What were we talking about again?
Next, we have standalone Major.
Oh, this is Rich. I keep saying poor Richard. I know, but you can't help but feel for the guy. Like, we get comments saying, like, fuck Richard. Set politics aside while we watch. Forget that he's a liberal, if you're a conservative, or whatever you believe that it doesn't line up with Richard. Forget that. And just try and see a human being here who is doing John a favor by doing his show. Like, Richard legitimately is doing John a favor. Whether or not, John gets more views, or Richard gets nothing out of this. No one that watches John's show is going over to watch Richard because of what he's doing here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Richard doing a favor for a friend, and this is how John pays back that favor.
I love the fact that my wife is a very well-read person. She's a very competent.
He's still got to defend himself. I forgot about that part where he circles back and he's like, "But your wife, could I give it to her?"
I'd really like to read her body, Richard, if you know what I'm saying.
You're telling me if I was looking through your windows and saw your wife naked, and she gave me kind of a come hither vibe, you're telling me I couldn't come in and fuck her?
If I put a milk crate, let's say, under the first floor window and I take a peek.
I've got my binoculars out.
And she's a very caring person. And at the end of the day, I love her, and I don't want to live without her. I mean, I
like he's like, John, I love this woman. Please, for the love of God, you're hilarious. Please
stop making me imagine you porking my wife.
That's just the way I feel. I worry about, my wife got COVID last month, and I was so scared because all I could think
Back, Army Major. Be right back.
all right.
Listen, again, put politics aside. Forget that COVID isn't real. Let's forget that for a minute. Richard is saying, I was scared because I started. Here's what Richard's about to say, if John let him. I start thinking like this is a woman that supported me, supported my kids for so many years. She gets sick. I'm thinking, what would life without her be like? That's true love. Richard is in love with his wife.
Right.
He's pouring his heart out to this man who has asked, could I slip it to her over and over again? Richard's trying to like get him to show what true love and human relationships are. And listen to the way John just is like, I'm done with you, not listening.
Worry about, my wife got COVID last month, and I was so scared because all I
Be
could
right
think
back,
of was,
Tommy Major. Be right back.
all right,
Try to remember if we got why you trash me and Greg Lambert. And I don't know if there's any more. So just try it. If you can
Yeah, Richard. I don't care that you thought your wife was gonna die. Remember that someone was trashing me in the chat. I mean, listen, we're on two sides of a different coin here. You want to talk about your wife's imminent demise and what that means for you in the future. But Penis Wrinkle has said something unkind about me.
I was just gonna say Penis Wrinkle. Penis Wrinkle's being a dickhead to me, but we're
My
gonna
go-to name now, yeah.
we're gonna get back to fucking your wife in a second.
Let's get to the mean comments in the chat, which, by the way, Richard, I know you have shown no interest in. Time and time again, you hate the fact that I keep going to the chat. I don't care about you.
You
is
keep
what
giving
John
me,
is saying.
you keep giving me fatherly advice of don't pay attention to these people.
But I've never seen that with anyone. Just the host go Richard is mid-sentence.
Mhm.
This is not like Richard made a point that John doesn't care about. Richard is halfway through his sentence and John goes, yeah, whatever, Army Major. I gotta grab a beer
And I don't know.
and take a big hemorrhoid shit.
Oh, okay. Wait, I'm gonna defend John here briefly. Kind of.
What?
His screen's frozen, so he might have been leaving and coming back to fix it.
Well, that's not a defense. It happens every day for John. Get a new fucking computer.
Good point. Good point. I tried.
That's been happening, Craig, and months ago. In a different calendar year, he talked about his fucking computer freezing.
John, just remember, I tried to defend you, and I wasn't allowed to. Just remember
You're
that.
allowed to, but it's wrong.
Lambert. And I don't know if there's any more. So just try it. If you could look and scroll down the super chats and just let me know if you can remember any of them.
So later, by the way,
Mhm.
someone in the chat goes, hey, John, you didn't read my super chat. And he goes, I told Army Major to remember him, and he didn't. Richard
For
was
real?
like, I swear to God. And Richard was like, what the fuck, man?
This is not my job.
Yeah. So listen to Richard, who is now tasked. He now has duties. He's now John's chat moderator, I guess.
Does John not know how to click the star tab where all the super chats are located?
No. You have to memorize them.
Oh, okay. I'll try that. I'll try that next time.
Yeah, next time we go live, just memorize the chat. And when I'm done talking, let's get to them.
I don't know. You want me to look at the super chats? I guess he'll be back on here. I just don't understand.
I like to think, John comes from the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
I don't remember Jay Leno doing that to Hugh Grant.
In the middle.
Yeah. You got a prostitute reason. I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, be right back.
You host for me for a minute.
And can you please memorize all this fan mail I have here?
I'm gonna give you some letters. Memorize them.
Some of you people just do this where you just want to sit and throw stones at somebody.
I will say what I love about Richard, because this is the second or third time that we've covered this happening to him.
Yeah.
He just immediately is like, I'm going to tell you how much I fucking hate all of you.
He hates the chat, and he's a good friend to John. He's saying, hey, people, stop. I hate that you bully my buddy John. Sure, he asks me about penetrating my wife. But I still don't like that you bully the guy.
Where you just want to sit and throw stones at somebody. Don't understand it. What's up, Robert Maris? How you doing, brother? Yeah, I'm not worried about people. You can throw stones at me all you want. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't care. I've been in politics. I was a senator in West Virginia. Believe me, if somebody wants to throw stones at me, I've It's
Yeah, enough of that. But let's talk about your wife's chili ring.
But Richard's like, guys, look at what I just sat through. You think you're going to bother me with your comments?
They're like,
This guy essentially talked about fisting my wife for 20 minutes.
he wants to tongue my wife's ass. You guys said my politics stink.
So I mean, man, what did you ask? Did you answer this guy's question?
Oh no, I don't understand, Jump. If Trump says you were funny and loved you on Stern, and that Shuley is untalented hack who's not funny, would you then support Trump for POTUS? No.
How would Richard answer that question, John?
He just saw, would you support Trump, and just said no, which is smart.
John goes, Richard, answer this question. Hey, remember when you were on the Howard Stern show? Well, here's something about Shuley. And John goes, all right, Richard, lobbying it to you.
You know, when you came on here and I said there's no way I'm going to pay you, can you read all these paid comments, please?
Hey, Richard, here's one about asking Ringo Starr a question. Could you answer this for me? Richard, we got a question about a lawsuit with Sharon Stone. Would you mind taking this one? The question was directly at you, John. How would Richard answer that?
Shit. This next clip is labeled 4 minutes later.
It's like if we're not live, obviously, but this is like if we got to chat like, hey, do you think you or Mick won the fight the other day? And I was like, Craig, take it away. You or Mick? Who do you think?
I'm going to default to you because Mick screwed us once.
You're actually answering the question, you idiot.
I know. I get triggered by Mick.
All right. What's next? Damn it! You made me do it.
What's next, Coleman? 4 minutes later.
Okay, so yeah, we've moved along. Clearly, listen. At the very least, Craig defended him and said John's computer froze.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, in that amount of time, John got everything he needed to do done when he left Richard alone, right?
Yeah.
At least for the next 4 minutes.
We've always been like, tankers. Tankers are the ones that little rounder because they're always in their vehicle, and paratroopers are always on their feet or in the air.
I don't give a shit about this. Yeah, okay, great.
No, please. I need someone with eyes to tell me.
Uh-huh.
Is he talking to Richard there?
Let's watch it again. I'll pay attention to John. I can't tell. Shuley reported you.
It sure as shit sounds like it.
There is a super chat on the screen that says Shuley reported you to cops for R-wording Kate Meany.
Okay, that's something you might not give a shit about. Scrub that from the archives. Let's pretend that he's telling Richard, I don't give a shit about what you say.
But here's
the thing. Richard, by the way, that's how I'm taking it.
Here's the thing, though. He voluntarily put that on the screen.
Right. Oh, well, this is a big thing with John. He doesn't pre-read the super chats.
Oh, dumbass.
He just puts them up. And then, like, when they have his address in them, he's like, oops.
We've always been like, tankers. Tankers are the ones that little rounder because they're always in their vehicle, and paratroopers are always on their feet or in the air.
I don't give a shit about this. Yeah, okay, great. Hey, I just sent.
If you're Richard, do you have any choice but to take it that way?
I can't tell if it is or isn't, to be honest.
Richard just made a point, and John goes, "Yeah, I don't give a shit about this." Moving on. I'm leaning towards Ojeda. Yeah. At best, he wasn't listening to Richard, who was just saying something.
Right.
I don't give a shit about this. Like, how fucking rude can you be to you? Even if you do that, like if you're focused on the super chat and you're like, I don't give a shit about this. My instinct would be like, oh shit, Richard, I don't mean you. Obviously, I'm not just blatantly insulting you, even though it sounded a lot like that.
First my wife, now this.
What an asshole.
Karam, even though I'm supposed to do a show, but not yet. I'm gonna hold on, because I like to hear Brian's thing too. Because I do have more questions to ask you, Major. I'm sorry.
Sounds good.
No, but I fuck your daughter. She's of legal age.
Can you give me that much? Can I fuck your daughter?
At least give me that, Richard. Yes, you can fuck my daughter.
Thank you.
Hold hold the show for a second. I'm just gonna grab a beer.
All right. All right. I'm
leaving him with the sticks again.
Which honestly makes the show better because Richard reading the chat, which he doesn't do on his shows anymore, is what I've missed a lot.
Yeah. Here's the problem: is John comes back like Richard, you kind of tell starting to get warmed up, and then just the dark cloud rolls back in.
All right. What we got? Okay, hold on.
Hold on, just read one.
Yeah. Bridget Sweeney, thank you very much. I was on Texas Paul this morning. I love being on Texas Paul's show. Great guy. Always appreciate being on there. All right. Anybody got any other questions? Okay, hold
I
on.
just can't get him on.
Who the fuck do you talk to when getting a beer?
He's just talking.
Okay, hold on. No, you're just talking. Who are you talking? Oh, shut up, James Dean. Eat shit. It's a dag. Let me tell you something.
There's that guy, Richie.
Love James Dean. Eat shit.
Go back. We gotta hear that again because we haven't heard it in a while.
That was a hilarious sentence you never thought you'd ever hear. Shut up, James Dean. Eat shit.
Who are you talking? Oh, shut up, James Dean. Eat shit. It's a dag. Let me tell you something. We always have at it with tankers. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, and here comes the moron to interrupt things
So
again.
did Jamie yesterday. This is Wolby. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we always talk.
What a fucking asshole.
Here comes the big retard. Here's my cat.
Does he not hear him flipping out like that and go, he just goes, you know what? This isn't worth it.
John, because John has no instincts in fucking podcasting. He hears a madman about to curb stomp a motherfucker, and he's like, "Here's my cat. Do you like him?
Is he cool or something?
Now, would you fuck this, Richard? We could do a trade."
Next, we have it was a mislabeled clip, but should have said Army Major PSA. I think is what you meant.
I
No,
don't think so.
you wrote message for Craig. I don't think that was accurate.
Oh! I was like, that doesn't sound familiar. No, he told me this actually. He messaged me, and he gave me the timestamp, and he was like, "Hey, I just have something I want to pass along to Craig."
Let me tell you something. There is no statute of limitations on rape.
Well, play that again, because why would he want to say that to you specifically? Let's see if we can read between the lines here.
I think he might have been talking to John actually.
Let me tell you something. There is no statute of limitations on rape.
Interesting. Now, why, Craig? I don't know, but he wants you. He sent that timestamp and just said message to Craig. Let that sink in. I don't know what he meant by that. Can we hear that one more time?
Let me tell you something. There is no statute of limitations on rape.
Okay, that's weird that he wanted you to know that so badly. Maybe he knows something I don't.
I thought we were friends, Richard. I thought we were friends.
I just like that one. I don't know when it'll come up again if we need it on the soundboard, but
now it's there.
all right. So yeah, Richard was on with Stuttering John, and that's what ensued there. But like, what a disrespectful piece of shit that guy is, huh?
The worst human.
Now,